every now and then something really fucks me off, and this is one of them. This also isn't a new thing to piss me off, just FYI. I've been against this company for donkey's years. I'm going to tell you why now. Just let me rip into them. Did you see that? Genuine hatred. So you all know about this little company called Apple. Well, I call it a little company. It's a slightly bigger company than that. They are apparently the next big thing in technology. Now, they've recently upset me and a number of people because they are coming out with these stupid bloody court cases which make no sense. I can try and put it to you, the court cases that Apple are putting through at the moment. Let me put it to you this way. This here is a candle held on it. Well, hang on. Candle. This, on the other side, is another candle. Right, so we have two candles. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, with the power of magic invested in me and a lighter, I'm going to light one of these candles. This will kind of help me explain as to where the court cases are coming from. So we have this lit candle at the moment, right? Now, this, for example, is called Samsung. Now, Samsung have this candle. It is lit. People like it because it's a lit candle. You know, it's kind of lit. This is an unlit candle. Let's, for example, call this Apple, because they're not the most brightest of people anyway. Now, Apple have been taking Samsung to court because that's a candle, and this is a candle, but Apple want to claim that they created this candle, so Samsung have copied them. Now, one of the reasons that Apple are taking Samsung to court is because they apparently have this thing, well, Samsung have this thing where you can zoom into a text by doing that with your fingers, or something with your fingers. And Apple apparently created that. Fact is, Apple didn't create it. That feature is actually available on the first ever smartphone. Apple did not create the first ever smartphone. But why else do I hate Apple? Well, of course, one of the other reasons for me to hate Apple is the fact that for years and years and years, they've been using a company called Foxconn. Now, Foxconn have been found guilty of using child labour, slave labour, you know, basically using children to work up to 19 hours at any one time in order to produce things like iPods, iPhones, whatever. And that really annoyed me. And don't get me wrong, they're not the only company to do such a thing, to have these sorts of actions taken. But Samsung, for example, wrote in their recent blog to say that they have actually found these cases out. They've done investigation work. And what are they going to do about it? They are taking action, Apple. Did you hear that? Samsung are taking action. Why? Because they can. What action did they take? They brought in a whole new range of rules. They made sure that every single member of staff was of age. They were able to do the job with, you know, without it affecting their health, mental health especially. And, you know, they're paid a fair wage. Now, Apple have known about this happening at Foxconn for years. What have they done about it? Anyone? Seriously? And that's because Apple did nothing. They sat on this issue for that long. It pissed people off, like me. You really don't want to go pissing off people like me. So to sum up, Apple are a pathetic company. They are a genuine joke. You know why? Because they still pay people below any minimum wage. They pay a wage that is barely livable on, and we're talking in some of the poorest countries in the world. Yet they still sell you a brand new phone with a little logo on it saying next generation. What's that all about? But you pay through the nose for it. Don't give me this bullshit of saying I get it on a phone contract, so I get a free phone. The cost of the phone is actually still included in your contract, so you do still pay through the nose. What's my final thing to say about this company? They need to stop what they are doing. They're into bad practices. They are literally just seeing the dollar sign when they see people. What they genuinely need to do is to realise that without people, they don't have a business. So to sum up, seriously, Apple, fuck you. Samsung, go you. I love you. And to everyone who owns an Apple product or subscribes to an Apple service in one way or another, I would just like to let you know that your product may well have been created by someone possibly even a child, who after finishing their 19-hour shift in Foxconn might well have just gone and thrown themselves off the building. Feel better about having your product now? Did you see that? Genuine hatred.